I'm here with Andy Miller, the co-owner of the Sacramento Kings and the owner of NRG Esports. Thanks for joining us, Andy.
Sure, thanks for having me.
What does esports mean to you, and what makes it unique from other industries?
Well, I think it's extremely unique. I think the problem with esports is the name esports. Like, it is a sport, but people want to put it in a bucket and say, oh, is this like basketball? Is this like the NBA? Yeah, but no, not really. You know, it is massively entertainment. It is digital. It has whole different communities. It has different traditions. There's a physical component. There's a mental component to it. And there's a huge sort of very personal entertainment component to it. When this sport grew up, when these games grew up on something like Twitch, where I could watch and I could interact and I could chat and I'm literally talking to the person that I'm watching, it's a whole different dynamic.
So what does a typical training day look like for a professional esports player?
That's a great question. So they get up, they show up around 10 o'clock. They have breakfast, which we give them. They will then warm up themselves, they have their own warm-up routine. And then they'll have a coaches meeting and talk about, okay, this is what we want to accomplish today. They'll have 2 scrimmages a day, one in the morning, one in the afternoon against 2 teams. In between, they will work out and have lunch, take a nap, and get back at it again. And then they're done for the day at a certain time, usually like 6, 7 o'clock. But they usually get back on and play again because they have their own business and they stream to their fans on their own.
If you're not good enough to be a professional esports player, are there other opportunities to be involved in the industry as a career?
Yeah, it's a great industry on the esports side. The gaming industry is massive, so there's coders and there's music developers and there's graphics people and there's everything on the gaming side. On the esports side, if I look at our organization, we have a lot of social media people, really important. A lot of predators, that's an editor, producer, and they're all right out of college. It's just a new industry with a much more of a media bent, but it's very similar to what you would find in and around an ecosystem of a pro traditional sports league. And it's only like 4 years old, 3 years old. That's the best part. Wow. We're making it up as we go along right now, right? It's going left, it's going right. Like, you have something to offer, you have a passion for it, then find your way into an org and learn, and you'll probably be running something pretty quickly because, we're not massive businesses, but the space is growing.
Do you see any value in higher education teaching things like game development?
Yeah, absolutely. If you look at the size of the gaming industry, it's bigger than television and movies worldwide combined. And it's not going to get smaller. Right. And as we progress in life, the theory is into the future, people actually have more free time than less because things become automated and they have a desire to fill that time with something they love. And there's giant, industry behind it and lots of careers, and that's why we're seeing colleges like this one offer game design and offer these resources for people to have an outlet just to play and meet people and be social, as well as get involved in an industry which we're a niche part of the gaming industry. So there's a lot involved here. It's a lot more than just playing video games in the basement.
That's awesome. Well, thank you very much for joining us, Andy.
All right,
we appreciate your time.